Red Redondo and the Phantom Rider. Introduction. Shadows on the Trail. Red Redondo was a man of flesh and blood, but there were nights when even he questioned what was real and what was myth. He had faced killers, outlaws, and corrupt lawmen. He had walked into gunfights where the odds were stacked against him and come out the other side. But some stories made even the bravest men shiver. One such tale whispered through the West was that of the Phantom Rider, a ghostly figure on horseback that haunted the desert trails, appearing only at dusk, riding a black stallion with burning red eyes. Some said he was a specter of vengeance. Others claimed he was the spirit of a dead outlaw, riding forever in search of blood. Red didn't believe in ghosts. But by the time the sun set over Gila Canyon, he was about to start questioning everything. The story. Red was riding west toward the Arizona border, following the old dusty trail that led through Gila Canyon. It was late afternoon, and the sky was streaked with orange and purple hues. The land was harsh and dry, with towering red cliffs on either side of the narrow path. His horse, Bandit, suddenly stopped, ears twitching. Red tightened his grip on the reins. Something was wrong. Then he saw it. In the distance, a lone rider appeared on the ridge, silhouetted against the sky. The figure was tall, dressed in black from head to toe, and sat atop a massive stallion darker than the night itself. The wind howled through the canyon, but the rider did not move. Red narrowed his eyes. Was this some outlaw waiting in ambush? A bounty hunter looking to cash in on Red's head? Or was it something else? The locals had spoken in hushed voices about a phantom rider who haunted these lands. Red didn't believe in legends. But as the rider's burning red eyes locked onto his, Red felt the first prickling of doubt. Then, without warning, the phantom rider charged. The stallion's hooves pounded the earth, kicking up dust like a storm as the rider galloped straight toward Red at an impossible speed. Red's instincts screamed at him to draw his gun, but something held him back. Could you kill something that wasn't alive? The rider was almost upon him. Red pulled the reins, spinning Bandit away, and kicked into a gallop. The chase was on. The chase through Gila Canyon. Red rode hard and fast, the wind ripping at his coat. Bandit's powerful strides sent rocks tumbling down the steep canyon walls. Behind him, the phantom rider never slowed. Red risked a glance over his shoulder. The rider's face was hidden beneath a shadowed hat, his eyes glowing red like embers. His black stallion moved with an unnatural speed, too fast for any living horse. Damn! Red gritted his teeth. If this thing was real, then he was in a fight for his life. Up ahead, the canyon trail narrowed, leading toward a wooden bridge spanning a deep ravine. If Red could make it across, he could cut the ropes and send the bridge crashing down behind him. But the phantom rider was closing in. Red urged Bandit faster, his hand hovering over his revolver. If this thing wanted a fight, Red was ready to give it one. The gunfight with a ghost. Red reached the bridge just as the phantom rider drew his weapon, a black revolver gleaming in the dying sunlight. Boom! A gunshot echoed through the canyon. Red ducked, feeling the bullet whip past his ear. His instincts took over. He twisted in the saddle, drew his Colt, and fired. Crack! The bullet hit the phantom rider square in the chest, but instead of falling, the rider barely flinched. No blood. No wound. Red's heart pounded. Was he fighting something that couldn't be killed? The rider fired again. Blam! The bullet shattered the wooden planks beside Red's horse. Bandit reared, nearly throwing Red off, but he held tight. There was no time to think. No time to wonder what this thing was. Red fired 3 more shots in rapid succession, aiming for the horse this time. If he couldn't kill the rider, maybe he could stop his mount. One bullet struck the stallion's front leg, but instead of falling, the beast shrieked, rearing back unnaturally high. Then, to Red's shock, the phantom rider simply vanished. Gone. Like a ghost dissolving into thin air. The canyon fell deathly silent. Red's breath came hard and fast. His gun was still smoking. Had he imagined it? Was it some trick of the light? No. The bullet holes in the bridge and the shattered planks said otherwise. And yet, there was no body. No horse. Nothing. Only the wind. The mystery deepens. Red rode on, his thoughts troubled. If the phantom rider was real, then what the hell was it? Later that night, he camped beneath a starlit sky, his fire crackling in the dark. He kept his gun loaded and ready, his back to the canyon wall. Then, just as he started to drift to sleep, he heard it. Distant hoofbeats. Slow. Steady. Red sat up fast, hand on his gun. He scanned the darkness. Nothing. But somewhere out there, beyond the fire's glow, the phantom rider was still watching him. Waiting. And Red knew this wouldn't be the last time their paths would cross. Epilogue, a legend that rides forever. By the time Red reached the next town, word had already spread. Some folks laughed. A ghost? Ain't no such thing. Others nodded gravely. The phantom rider's been seen for years. No man who crosses his path ever lives to tell the tale. Red simply poured himself a drink. He was alive. But he had seen something out there. Something not of this world. And that meant one thing. Some legends weren't just stories. Some legends rode forever. And one day, Red Redondo would have to face the phantom rider again.